Capricorn, hi, hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Whenever you come across this video, thank you so much for choosing to spend a little bit of time with me. I'm so grateful for every single one of you. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all the likes, shares, and subscribes. Everyone who's booking, making purchases off the website, pledges to the Patreon, sending things to the P.O. Box, and purchases off their wish list. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you guys so much. Capricorn, the theme of your reading is you are walking away from something that is not giving like reciprocity here, like an equal give and take, right? Intuitively, you're like, yeah, I don't know. There's something where it's like, I think what you're like, it's like you're headed towards something that's more aligned with more purpose, but you're walking away from something that has not been showing you value or giving back to you what you deserve, what you've been putting into it. Sometimes life brings questions. Questions about love, questions about career, questions about your life journey, and sometimes we just need a little clarity. And that is where my new sponsor, Psychic Source, comes in. Psychic Source has been around for over 35 years, connecting people like you with trusted, compassionate advisors to bring through insights and guidance that they need at this time. One of the things that I loved or that stood out to me with Psychic Source was that not only do they care about their customers, but they also care about their employees as well as the world. They donate 1% of all proceeds to a good cause through their kindness initiative. I had a chance to experience the whole experience and talk to a psychic advisor, and I left feeling far more confident than I did like walking into it. She was able to pull on a recent dream that I had, and the craziness of it, and help me find clarity through that. She recognized that I was going through a purge and that I was going through a kind of like a rebranding, if you will. She was also able to give me like kind of a little bit of clarity on a direction that I'm headed in, and she even was able to like give like dates type energy, as well as like a couple names she pulled out. So it was very good. Like I said, I left feeling a lot more confident than I did going in, just about the direction that I'm headed in. And I didn't ask her any questions. This was all just, I just asked her, what do you got? And she just came, pulled all this stuff, and it was very good. It was very good. So with all that being said, I'm excited to share that Psychic Source is offering an incredible deal for my viewers, you guys. Okay, new customers can get up to 40 minutes with one of their advisors for just $19.80. That's a value up to $240, okay? You can get the deal through the link in the description box below using the keyword Corie, C-O-R-I-E, or you can go to trypsychicsource.com/Corie. There's never been a better time to experience true connection. Okay. There is also, too, walking away from something, you know what I mean? We have Maui, come on. Sorry, Capricorn, my neighbors. So this year is like not this year, this weekend is the town rummage, right? And so the neighbors are having one, and it's just traffic in and out and stuff like that. And he's just, anyways, he's feeling a little, that a boy. That's my good boy. Yeah, you just stay in here, okay? Okay. But anyways, Capricorn, yeah, it's like, maybe there was like something that provided a sense of security or something like that, Capricorn, but it wasn't giving you what you were worth, right? It wasn't aligned with your own self-worth here or something like that. And so I feel like you're choosing to walk away here, okay? Okay, Capricorn. So, yeah, look, a time to go. I'm telling you, you're walking away from something that is not giving you what you're pouring into it here. Okay. We have a higher power here. So whatever it is that you're doing is very divinely led, Okay, and with this round and around, it's like you're aligning to, yeah, a time to go is kind of poking out here. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're aligning to what's next here, with the mending. And with this, like, it's like this healing, that a time to go poked out again. It's the same thing, right? It's like, okay, it's time to walk away. Yeah. Because you're aligning with something that makes you happier, right? It's like, you know, some of you may be leaving some sort of corporate job that, sure, while it like provides, you know, a lot of life's luxuries, it's something that is like not fulfilling, right? Like, and so you're kind of in this energy of like, okay, so what, do I continue to go to this place and put in all of this extra, you know, whatever it is, and not get, you know, fulfillment or something out of it, right? It's there's something like that, Capricorn, where it's like, I feel like you're finally choosing to go towards something that's more aligned here, okay? Because again, there was like this level of security that something may have brought, Capricorn, but you're releasing. It's like you've healed something here that says that you needed to hold on to whatever that was, right, in order to be secure, or, you know, but you're heading towards some sort of what is this? Emotional pain, message, and trust it. What is this? Who is this? What's this trusted and awakening here? You've had some sort of achievement over some sort of emotional pain, which would have had you accepting something less here. There's somebody, you're getting a message here that somebody is maybe imprisoned within their own. Somebody could have said that they were going through an awakening, okay? But they are not. They are not, Capricorn. Okay? I don't know. There's like... Because there's a major difference between somebody who just like, I don't know, catches on or sees videos of like something about awakening or ascension or something like that, right? But then when you actually are going through it and experiencing it, right? It's hard to explain, right? This round and around card comes out and it's like, you know, you really go round and round during this awakening and really kind of tap further into see pieces and parts of yourself that you maybe are really uncomfortable for you to see, but even also seeing pieces and parts of yourself that you absolutely love and adore that you haven't seen in such a long time. And it's like, you know, coming back to the core of you and releasing all of the projections and ideals and limitations of those that you have picked up along the way. It's not just it's an internal thing that then turns external here, right? So there's somebody who could have, Capricorn, if you've been going through some sort of awakening or something like that here, there's somebody who could have been, saying that they were to try to, but you're getting some sort of message, or you're going to get some sort of message about some sort of imprisonment, right? And I'm not sure that this is actual jail. This could actually be somebody who's just in prison, right? Again, somebody's saying, I'm going through this awakening, but then you're seeing very clearly, right, that they are still very much like in that Eight of Swords energy, right? Like trapped in their mind type of thing, where the mind is still running the show. This isn't somebody who has surrendered. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. So tell me about this round and around for Capricorn. Capricorn, is there a priest or a pastor that's jealous of your your ascension, of your awakening, of your growth, of your healing here? Yeah, because I feel like they're dealing with somebody who is maybe mentally and emotionally unstable, Capricorn. That's what I'm saying. Somebody lied, okay? They said that they were experiencing something, but there's been no growth. There's been no development. There's been no change. It's just, maybe somebody watches videos and they maybe they're gaining knowledge, but it's conscious knowledge that they're gaining. They're not internalizing it. They're not understanding it. They're not overstanding it, because it's not, yeah. Yeah, Capricorn, some of you have a very deep connection with your ancestors here, okay? Passed over loved ones. I could be talking to like a medium, a spiritualist, somebody who's a healer, somebody who's very intuitive here, okay? And this is what somebody's jealous of, okay? That it could be this priest or this pastor, because you may hear things or know things or see things or be aware of things that others are not. And again, it very well could be this person, right, that is like, again, they stated that they could do this, or that they were going through this, or that they, whatever, but it's very clear that this was false. I heard very clearly, because you've outgrown someone. You've outgrown someone. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? But and growth and evolution, it takes time, Capricorn. This has been going on for quite some time. Okay? So some of you too, right? It's excuse me. When we talk about leaving something, it could very well be the church, okay? Because maybe there's an energy where you are not finding the connection within the church, right? And it's like, it's this feeling that it's like, well, I feel more connected, on my own. It's like that type of energy here, okay? Tell me about this mending for Capricorn. There could also be some people that are awakening to some sort of false documents or statements that could have been made about you, Capricorn. Okay? could be something about being mentally and emotionally unstable, or being like some sort of third party, or maybe even being jealous here or envious. But I see that you've been on some sort of pathway with these ancestors. I'm telling you, Capricorn, whoever, if this is resonating with you, you are so tapped in, you're so tuned in, you're so connected, okay? And you've just been on this self-love journey, you know, going through this awakening. And yeah, there's a lot of things that you just know here, okay? And that's a big gift for you. And there's at least one person that's jealous and envious of that, okay? And you may have been very open about your gifts or something like that here. Somebody may have used your vulnerability to like manipulate a situation, right? Or your authenticity to like manipulate a situation. There's also too a karmic feminine energy, Capricorn, that may be using like some sort of like mending, like coming towards you, but they're doing this to manipulate here. What are they trying to manipulate? I feel like they're trying to get some sort of information. Also, your protection. This is somebody who's trying to get into your energetic field or your aura so that they can, I don't know, something here, but you're protected from whoever this is. Yeah, this has been blocked. Tell me about this happy here for Capricorn. Somebody could be sending some sort of evil eye here. Because I feel like somebody showed up lustful, right? They showed up in a karmic energy and you were like, yeah, okay. You know, this wasn't really aligned with me, you know, that type of thing. And you walked away. And so somebody could have been sending some sort of evil eye here, okay? Claiming something. I don't know. It's like Capricorn, you're very gifted, and I get this feeling that there's some very envious or jealous people of that, okay? It's like you saw through something and so you walked away, right? It's not to say that this person is a bad person, you know, but if they have, you know, if they're still in this like state of consciousness where they're still giving into lust, or they're still giving into, you know, karmic thoughts or things like that, right? You know, or even if the simple fact that when you walked away, they started sending evil eye, it's like, well, you know, hello, maturity, it's not aligned, right? It's like that type of thing here. So somebody's very jealous and envious that you were able to see past, right? Past the energy that they showed you, right? You know, your discernment, your intuition, your wisdom is you're very connected to a higher power here, okay? And I feel like Capricorn, you're stepping into a very happy time, because you're trusting yourself. You're choosing self-love, and you're trusting the ancestors. You're trusting the divine here, okay? Yeah. But all right, Capricorn, I think I'll leave it there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's like somebody, again, it doesn't make them necessarily like a bad person, right? Um, but it's like you can see right through it, right? They just haven't alchemized these things. They haven't become aware of them. They're not, again, this is somebody who claims to have been going through some sort of awakening or some sort of ascension, right? And they just weren't. Okay. And you were able to pick up on these entities or these energies or something like that, and you put something to an end. You're like, yeah, no, this doesn't resonate. I'm not aligned with that, right? And yeah, so somebody had been kind of like abusing you here, trying to. This has been blocked, okay? Or your money, right? Or what you've been working on, something like that, Capricorn, okay? Um, But ultimately, Capricorn, you're very gifted, and this is intimidating to somebody else. Somebody else feels intimidated because you are extremely gifted. Yeah, because you are in this divine feminine energy here. And somebody who yeah, somebody who maybe is experiencing some sort of poverty, or I don't know, somebody with a poverty mindset is mad and wanted to try to bring destruction to some sort of, to your divinity, right? This would be like somebody who's claiming to go through some sort of awakening, right? Or claiming to be, be connected to this higher power, or this higher consciousness, or, whatever it is, right? Claiming all these things, maybe assuming that you're just claiming that too, right? And coming to try to prove you some type of way. And yeah, I heard proof is in the pudding, okay? That you are certainly in this like starseed high honor energy, okay? Yeah. So this is like somebody, it's like, okay, Capricorn, you start going through an awakening, you tap into all these gifts and things like that. You really learn to love yourself and others around you, and understand things, and there's growth and development and mending and healing, and you're really coming into yourself, right? And there's somebody else that's like claiming to be going through the same thing, but saying, oh, Capricorn isn't really doing that, right? Capricorn, is just, pretending, or, kind of putting on an act or something like that, right? But what is the reality is it's coming out that it's actually this person that was pretending or putting on a show, okay? Because there's something, Capricorn, about people seeing how you have clearly changed and grown and evolved, and somebody else is still in the same spot, right? Is still in the same position, still experiencing and doing the same things, like there has not been any change. And so there are some people that are kind of looking at it, including you maybe, right? Where it's like, there's no way that this person was going through, there's been no growth, right? There's been no change. This person is still in the same spot that they were, right? And Capricorn is not. So there's something about that here, okay? Okay. If you need anything from me, that is in the description box below. Otherwise, I love you so much. We'll see you next time.